So sad. Very, very sad. My people, if we see the money we be say Nigeria lose for 7 years, or in the name of what they call am subsidy. And now, how is Nigeria going to pay all these debts? This is my question. And what is going to happen after they even remove the subsidy? Will Nigerians be benefiting something from it? Abeg, Mona listening to this news, Mona listening to wetin happen, Mona listening to how much we be say Nigeria lose. The money is too much. It dey heavy. They know they talk about billions, so they talk of trillions here. Trillions of naira. The money that can help the Nigeria population is just being wasted for nothing. And nobody can give us any answer.
Arrangements, and at the same time collecting an average of 6 trillion naira annually from the federal government's purse to pay for the same PMS. Now, it has already used crude oil to swap for. Now, Alkali, who commended the decision of President Tinubu to stop the double whammy fuel scam, however, called on the government to conduct a forensic audit of the subsidy regime and prosecute those involved in what he calls high-level corruption that has further depleted the country's lean resources. Now, these and more recommendations are contained in the article by the seasoned University Don after having written another one again on, of course, what we lost and what we should be enjoying at the moment. Well, I'm glad to have joining me in the studio here to tell us more about his findings, Dr. Abubakar Alkali, who's a lecturer in the Department of Petroleum and Gas Engineering at the Base University, a private varsity here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Thank you so much, Dr. Alkali. And very quickly, take us into how we could have spent 59.3 trillion naira just in close to 8 years of the last government. We haven't talked about the previous governments before that of Buhari. Just within this period, and such a humongous amount that could have gone into infrastructure or other development was spent on just putting fuels in our cars.
Absolutely. Editor Sambo, thank you so much for having me again. Obviously, this is a burning issue, and we all need to make contributions towards, a better understanding of the problem and how to fix it. What actually transpired was that there was kind of what you call double dealing, particularly from the years between 2017 and 2023. 2017 was when the direct sales and direct purchase arrangement started. And that arrangement was supposed to be a direct swap arrangement, such that I give you 100 barrels crude oil, and you give me 100 liters worth of either petrol or premium motor spirit or DPK, dual purpose kerosene, or automotive gas oil. That's diesel.
AGO, diesel.
Yes. However, in most cases, it's actually the PMS that comes. So it's supposed to be a direct swap that should not involve cash payment. Which marketer has actually been a contractor under the DSDP. Just check his records. Just check their records. How many liters of crude oil have you taken over the years? How many have you brought?
Do you think we have an advantage here with having a president who worked in the petroleum industry? I mean, he was a staff of ExxonMobil and all of that. An accountant, someone who tracks monies and keeps monies here and there. Do you think that Tinubu's experience from working with the multinational oil company can help him to help track these funds? And if it does, will he have the political will to ask them to bring back some of the monies for those who are found guilty?
I really think so, although obviously time shall tell, but I really think so, because for a man on his first day to announce, to have that will, that zeal, to break a jinx that has been existing for 50 years, you will say, yes, this man is serious on this issue. So I think his experience will come to bear. It will come handy on this. And yes, there is going to be very serious challenge, because there are people, I mean, very top people we hear, you know, who are actually on top of this.
Yeah, I mean, including a former governor of Bauchi State, saying that one of his friends said he was tired of making money. That's Issa Yuguda. That his friend told him that he was tired of making money from the fuel subsidy scam.
Let me even,
if we may call it that way.
Yeah, of course they will be tired of making money, because editor, all you need to do as a marketer under fuel subsidy, under DSDP, is to submit claim. You'll be paid. And there's even one component, which is bridging.
We had some people importing oil, water.
Yes.
The vessels.
Submit claim. It will be paid. Bridging, for example. Bridging is transportation
petroleum products from
Lagos
yeah.
down. Now, what happens is, NNPC says during the era of regulation, when the subsidy was, you know, being applied, NNPC said, okay, sell at 165, for example, and I pay you the difference. That's the subsidy. However, the marketer now says, okay, I'm going to do that, but you see, I cannot transport fuel from Lagos to Maiduguri, which is 4 naira per liter transportation, and still sell at your price. And NNPC now says, okay, no problem. Transport it, and I will pay you the 4 liter. The marketer moves this fuel across borders, smuggles it outside the country, and still brings claim. And he still gets paid.
It's an interesting scenario indeed. And they still get paid for all of that.
Absolutely.
Now, have our institutions failed us as a people? Talking about those who are supposed to protect the Nigerian nations. Institutions like EFCC, DSS, and the police, who are supposed to go after corrupt government officials who were part of this. And how do we ensure that if we do a forensic audit, like you're asking, that report doesn't just lie down somewhere and no action is taken by the National Assembly or the government?
Yeah, well, actually, last part of your question, I think this government wants to do something different as far as fuel subsidy is concerned. And also, the fact is that these institutions, I mean, they are doing something along this line of stopping corruption, along this line of discouraging corruption and arresting officials and all of that. Although I will say some of it is actually media trial, okay? However, the fact remains that, you see, some institutions, government institutions, are not strong enough. That is a fact. You even have, you have interagency collaboration. Now you have interagency infighting. One agency of government will not give support to another agency to do its work because it feels it's taking over its responsibility. So how this is a whole, it is actually, you know, a unit, and everybody should contribute. How do you now achieve results under those circumstances? Yeah, government institutions are weak, to say that. They need,
so we need total and holistic reforms. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're saying something very critical here, because the DPR will have to, for example, provide the figures, the DPR provide the figures of what the multinational oil companies give to us controversially, instead of us even knowing how much oil we are mining. Yeah. And then EFCC, for example, will need to do that, get those figures, and then there's a problem.
Let me give you an example quickly. There
in
are
30 seconds,
yes, some vessels actually were impounded at the ports on the waters, you know, contaminated fuel, things like that, or some of them even not coming with the right. Have you ever heard of someone prosecuted?
Well, some of them were actually prosecuted.
Well, but where is this fuel that was impounded? Can we account for it? Has it been accounted for? So all these are the leakages.
I mean, unfortunately, we're out of time. It's a very interesting conversation, and the conversation continues right in government halls, including the presidential villa, where the action is coming from nowadays. Let's just wait to see what President Bola Tinubu will be doing, having been someone who worked in the petroleum industry himself. There's a lot of expectations from him, and we just hope that the institutions of government will not continue to fail Nigerians, as people who come in briefcases and other portfolios actually flees our economy. And it's on this note that I want to thank you, Dr. Abubakar Alkali, who's a petroleum engineer and lecturer at the Bayes University, a private university in Abuja, here for joining us. And that's how it's been on this show today. I want to thank you for being with us, and thank you so much. See you next week. I'm Summer Sambo.